Hello everybody, welcome to my C# tutorial of how to make a basic game. Well, I say tutorial, it's more of a walkthrough really of this little idea of a game I had using the Win forms. So you're probably wondering, what is the game, what will it look like? Well, I will draw it for you right now. So we're gonna have a little rectangle, and I'm gonna have some rectangles inside the rectangle going up and down like this. These are all meant to be straight, and basically these will just move up and down, and our job as a little character, a little dude, well, I say character, it'll probably be like a little rectangle, is we have to walk through this without touching the sides or without touching the moving rectangles, and we've got to get to the end here, in which case you win and you go to the next level or you get more points or whatever. I don't really know. So yeah, I think it'd be pretty interesting to make, probably not amazingly fun to play, but it sure will be good fun to make. So as you can see here, I have tried to make this first tutorial first using Cam Studio, which is a piece of shit, so now I'm gonna have to do it again with Camtasia, but I don't really mind. Okay, so new project, we're just gonna go straight into this. I'm gonna make it again, obstacle game. So in this first walkthrough, I just want to set up the form and set up the basic skeleton. I want to make the boundary in which the game will be played in. But first things first, let me just give this a nice little name. Obstacle game. You're gonna want to set the form border style to fixed dialogue, because we don't really want to moving it around. And there's something else here you want to do, double buffered. You want to set that as true, and finally you want to find the maximize box and set that to false. So now basically the whole form is just stuck in one position, in one size rather. So it's going to look something like that. We're going to modify it later when we make the boundaries, but it's going to look around that shape. So whilst we're here, let's add a timer, which is going to be essential in the game later on. Just find this timer and we'll just slap that on there. I want to give it an interval of something like, I don't know, 250, 500, but we'll change that later. And you want to put that as enabled. Okay, so now if we go back on the form, we want to, what we're going to want to do now is probably, actually no, we're going to want to make an event actually for this timer, not an event, sorry, a method. So double click that, and that's what happens when the timer ticks. And finally come back to these events, that's what event was on my mind. Find the paint event for the form, and then we'll set that up. Okay, so basically when the timer ticks in the game will be when we repaint the form, so when we move the things up and down. So basically every time this happens we're gonna want to tell the form to repaint, and to do that we type this time validate, which will call this method here. So first thing I want to do, which is very important, is we're going to want to make the boundary to play in. You could just use the form boundaries themselves to play, but I prefer if you make your own rectangle, because it's easier with the numbers, and I just think it's a lot nicer. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a rectangle here, and I'm going to call it boundary, and let's just make it, it's going to be D1010, width something nice like 600, and height is going to be about 100. So that's our nice rectangle. We're going to want to pen with that. New pen, solid brush, give it a black color. There we go. Now every time we repaint the form, we're going to have to put this back in there. So e.graphics.draw rectangle, pen, and boundary. There we go. So far so good. Now we're going to have a nice little boundary in our form. There we go. It goes off the edge, so I'm going to have to go and quickly resize that. Say something like that. There we go. That looks good. First time. That was lucky. So second thing I would like to do with this form is make like a little rectangle at the end, a green rectangle, to show when our character gets to that point, past all the obstacles, that is the completed level. And this rectangle, I'm going to want to make it a static rectangle, because then I can use it for things like whether that rectangle intersects with our character, then I know that we've reached the end of the level and we completed it. So it's just going to be easier if this is a static rectangle. So I'm going to make that here. I'm going to call it finish rect, new rectangle. It's going to be, let's think about this, 600, 10, 10, 100. We're going to want to give that a solid brush. Yeah, new solid brush. A nice lime colour. I like lime. So every time we're going to want to draw this as well. Dot draw rectangle. Then we're going to want to do solid brush and finish. Finish rect. There we go. Oh my days. Okay. I have an error. What has gone on? Oh, that's why. It's meant to be fill rectangle. My bad. So that's going to be a solid rectangle right at the end, which we'll have a look at now. There we go. However, you do notice at the top that this green overlaps the black, which looks a little bit funny. So I'm just gonna, if we make this value 11 and take one away from this at 99, then that should sit in there nice and tidy. There we go. So yeah, that is wow. That's just went there. Okay. But yeah, that is basically all I wanted to do for this tutorial. The next walkthrough, we're going to go through the classes for the obstacles themselves, the rectangles, and we're going to go through the class needed for the character, which is going to be moving through it. So yeah, hopefully I haven't bored you to death so far, but if you want to keep learning and going through with this game, then just I'll upload some more tutorials soon. Thank you very much, and goodbye.